All right, we're recording. Let's go. I'm Matt. That's Patrick Quinn, winner of the Screenplay Rent Assistance Grant and writer of The Life and Opinions of a Former Potato Eater. And I must say that is one of the better titles on the platform, Patrick. I had to check my cue card there to make sure that I didn't screw up the title. So thanks for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is a really special interview for me because you are the first person that I met when I first discovered the Decentralized Pictures platform. And I know that you do a lot more than just write screenplays. You are all over DCP and look forward to diving into a lot of those details. But first, can you give just the audience a little background about yourself, where you're from, how you got into film, and some of the other things that you're involved with, like the Irish Film Fund? I know you run a small publishing company, and give us some context there.
Yeah, so I'm from Tipperary in Ireland and got into filmmaking through skateboarding. All my friends were skateboarders. I didn't really fancy falling around too much, so I started filming it. My father had an 8mm Handycam, so I started with that, and then I moved on to a Sony VX 2100, and it was all around the same time as Jackass, so it was skateboarding and then little prank videos. So just kind of built up from there, just got more complicated. And then finished school and went to film and video course down in Cork for 2 years. Wasn't the best run course, so I didn't learn a lot. Then I took a year off, went to Tenerife. Then I did a degree in English and History of Art. Then I did a master's in screenwriting. Then I moved down to Cork again. Now I'm living down in West Cork, writing, being a husband and father.
I get it. So tell us a little bit about the Irish Film Fund and your involvement with that.
Yeah, so I set up the node with my brother. He's the silent partner, and I'm used to the Cardano network, and you stake your ADA to different stake pools. And the pools I always staked to were pools that had an initiative, like Clean Water Initiative or Clean Beaches, something useful. And it seemed like a waste to have a node and not have like an initiative for people to stake to. And I've always been interested in helping filmmakers to come along, because I wish when I was 18 that there was more resources, because in Tipperary there was nothing. In Cork there was more, but I always wanted to have more of a collective around. So that's something I'm interested in, like building a collective. So the Irish Film Fund node, what we're trying to do is build a filmmaking hub in Skibbereen, because there's a film studio just got planning permission there, and I think it would be a good idea to have like a filmmaking hub in Skibbereen too, so people can just meet, have coffee, same as the Decentralized Pictures coffee idea, that you could just meet and mingle, have ideas, and I'll try to have an editing station, and so people could just come and work, meet people, but also have productions. So if people stake to the node, we'll use some of the staking rewards. We put it away in a treasury, and eventually we'll have a production, enough funds for production. Hopefully, maybe 10 years.
Well, that sounds like an incredible initiative, and we'll build on, that idea of running a node and utilizing as a delegator some of those funds to support this initiative when we talk about film credits a little bit later on in the interview. So let's focus on your screenplay. And again, make sure I don't screw it up. The Life and Opinions of a Former Potato Eater. Try to say that 5 times in a row really fast. Good luck. So tell us about that screenplay. What was your motivation to write it? And where would you like to see the project go from here?
Well, it started. I have a small publishing company, and the books I like to do are like first-hand accounts, all different kind of first-hand accounts from the 17th, 18th, 19th century. And what I learned from doing two of the books was just the different characters that were around during the famine. And usually during the famine, all you hear about are small tenant farmers. But there was like loads of different people around. I had the idea of doing focusing on a poutine maker. So someone, and the traditional recipe for poutine was potatoes. So it just kind of made sense to have a poutine maker who ran out of potatoes. And one of my favorite movies is Whitney and I. So it was kind of, the idea was to have Whitney and I set during the famine. And one of my favorite scripts is Harrow Alley by Walter Newman Brown, which is considered the greatest unproduced screenplay. And his script is all about the plague in 1666. So it's just his script is all about humanity. So that's what I was trying to emulate, humanity during the famine, but with Whitney and I kind of humor.
Excellent, excellent. Well, thanks for that context. And so where would you like to see? So you received the grant, so congratulations.
Thank you.
And where would you like to see that screenplay go from here?
Well, I did a rough draft of it, and then my friend had the helpful suggestion of stripping it all back to make it more filmable, because there's lots of set pieces like a tall sailing ship and castles and uh, like a big burial pit with hundreds of dead bodies and things like that. But he wanted to strip it back because he's big into no budget filmmaking. So he was saying, like, strip it back, make it filmable, which is a good idea. And there's a middle section in the script where they go on the lam up in the mountains, and I think I could strip it back to that and have that as the filmable piece. So that's what I'm working on at the minute, to try to make it smaller but still work the way I want it.
Great, great. All right, so that's awesome information about your screenplay. So we're going to change gears a little bit here, shift over to Decentralized Pictures. And Patrick, I know you are all over this platform. You write screenplays, but that's just scratching the surface. So we see you writing Medium articles on how to set up a node. We see you in the Discord channels. So what does Decentralized Pictures mean to you, and what's your favorite aspect of the platform?
Well, Decentralized Pictures, it's a great creative outlet for me, because I was kind of stuck in a rut, because I'm out in the middle of nowhere. Like, I'm next to the Atlantic Ocean. I have no neighbors. It's just us here. So I'm raising my daughter as well with my wife. So it's kind of, you can kind of get stuck in a rut, and just no creative outlets, because there's not much support for screenplays in Ireland. There's a lot more support for plays. Like years ago, I was writing lots of plays, but there's only like one. No one does unsolicited screenplays. Like, you can't submit a screenplay to anyone. So you just kind of, you write a screenplay and you don't know where to send it. And so Decentralized Pictures is like that, finally somewhere to put a script. Screenwriting is my first love. I like writing plays as well, and novels and non-fiction screenplay books, but I always go back to screenplays. My favorite part of the DCP, I like the daily quiz, because it's challenging.
It is. It's very challenging. They're getting harder too.
Oh, Jesus. And I see these people getting 99 and 100, like, where?
It's not me. It's not me.
90 was my highest. And I was like, yes.
So the technical aspects of the decentralized platform. So you have written a Medium article on how to set up a node.
Yeah, I've done it a few times.
Sure, sure, and that helped me. That article helped me set up my node as well. So what was that like? What was that journey like? You know, you said you had some exposure to Cardano and kind
Yeah,
of their platform and how they operated, and
yeah. So
you know,
I came across DCP last, I say it was last September. They were still doing alpha, so there was only 5 nodes, and I tried to take part in that. I set up a node for that, and I got the test film, but I didn't understand that when you shut off your laptop, the node disappeared. So it was always annoying Leo, like, what's going on with my node? Because you're supposed to run your node all the time. So, but I was doing that on my MacBook, and so then between September and December, when the nodes launched, it was December 15th. The nodes launched. I learned how to do the basic command line that I needed to move around and set up the node, um, which is completely alien to me. I'm not into computer programming or even the command line stuff, but it was fun and necessary.
absolutely,
I, I
absolutely.
I wanted a node.
Me too. This is the first node that I've set up as well, and I mean that provides assurance that like a someone who has a business background like myself, doesn't have to be a computer scientist or
Yeah,
engineering background to figure this thing out, which
yeah.
is
If you read the Git book and follow all the steps, it's easy. But there's lots of things uh, that doesn't make sense if you don't understand it, like how to move around on command line. Um, that was difficult, and um, I'm still getting used to it.
yeah, yeah. Me too, me too. Okay, excellent, excellent. So, how about someone who's completely new to the platform? What are your recommendations for just getting your feet wet and learning about decentralized pictures? Because I think there's an educational component with decentralized
Mm.
pictures, and how they're trying to do things different,
Yeah.
differently than the traditional Hollywood model. So, how would you recommend someone brand new to the platform? How should they approach decentralized pictures?
Um, they've done really good talks already that they've uploaded onto YouTube. Like Leo did the TES talks. I always give that to people as the first video to look at because he goes through the app. He explains what it does. That's the first thing I get them to do, and then come onto Discord and just ask questions. Because even if after watching the video, you still might be a bit confused about what staking is. What's the other question people have? Staking and um, oh, there's another regular question that I get asked as well. But just ask them. Oh, the
Sure.
bounty. The bounty. What's the bounty?
Right, right. Yeah, so some different and new terms, especially when you're talking
Yeah,
about
yeah,
blockchain powered projects.
yeah.
Absolutely,
That's that's
absolutely.
the that's the most off-putting thing. Because I talk about these things to my wife, and she's starting to pick up on what wallets and seed phrases, but it's a whole new lingo.
Absolutely, absolutely. And as part of that, by participating on the platform, by submitting proposals, by evaluating the proposals, by being a moderator, by running a node, you can earn these tokens called film credits.
Mm-hmm.
So
The
talk to
value,
us.
the valuable token called film credits.
Exactly, exactly. So talk to us about that's a cryptocurrency attached to this platform, correct?
Mm-hmm. So film tokens, they're like the best carrot on a stick to get people to interact with the projects. Because I remember when Amazon Studios came out they had an open submission portal, but I put up a screenplay and it was there for months and no one reviewed it because there was no community, there was no incentive to interact. Um, so and then Amazon Studios stopped doing it because no one was working on it. But with film tokens, you submit your proposal, people review it, and they earn film credits from reviewing it, and then they can go to Bitmart and sell the film credits if they want, or if they were clever, they'd stake it to a node.
Hint, hint. Well, that's excellent, and that's one of the beautiful things that I've seen, providing, that incentive, behind participate. I mean, it's a cool network. It's kind of fun to participate in as it stands, but then having that additional incentive of, you can actually earn credits by doing something you're already interested in, and guess what? It has monetary value attached to it.
Like for the rent assistance grant, it took me 3 days of doing the film quiz to cover the cost of submitting to that, and it was the same with the last one, the Never Alone Awards. I think it was 3 or 4 days of doing the film quiz, and you pay your submission. So you don't even have to buy the film credits if you don't want to. You can just do the quizzes, enjoy yourself working out all these Indian directors.
Yeah, I've kind of taken a break from the quiz because it's kind of been kicking my butt the last few rounds, to be honest. So let's take it a little bit further. Open our aperture a little bit here to the greater, larger world of Film 3, and I think we can all kind of collectively agree that DCP is in this space, this Film 3 space, which is part of the Web 3 space, and so it's kind of a new world that we're operating in here. So where do you see decentralized pictures and Film 3 going, and kind of where are we at in that journey?
Well, just from hearing what they've been talking about, like this, the current app is just one step along it, because it's a whole blockchain. And Leo mentioned before about like a metaverse, and they were talking about having a replica of the American Zoetrope studio. But I'm hoping what they do is that they sell office spaces, like, and then people could spend their film tokens to have a little office on the studio, or as like a cinema, like people are doing metaverse cinemas, and they're token gated, so you can earn an income from having a cinema in the metaverse, and all little festivals and everything. And like the film tree space, there's so much opportunity at the minute, like with IP rights. Like one of the partners for the Film Tree Summit is Virtue Studios, and they're having the Genesis Pass. And part of the Genesis Pass is you get a free mint for the Basement Gang, and you get like a profile picture. I don't know what they look like yet, but you get a profile picture, and that's yours. You can do what you want with it. And if you build a story for the character, you can try to get it onto animation. So you can create your own character, get it on in animation, and you own the character, and you can put him on lunch boxes or put him on T-shirts. And they're just fun IP things like that. Same with like Kevin Smith with his Kilroy Was Here. He had you minted a Kilroy, and that Kilroy was yours, and you can make a short movie with that Kilroy and submit it to the next anthology, and then you can be part of Kevin Smith's Kilroy Was Here anthology. So there's so many opportunities becoming available through Film Tree and Web Tree that, like, for screenwriters and filmmakers, like, they should all be jumping at these opportunities.
Oh, absolutely. And there are. I'm glad you used that word opportunities, because you see some of the established filmmakers that are supporting some of these grants out there on the platform right now. That the sky's the limit of where this thing can go. So definitely exciting time to be in the Film 3 space. So okay, well, we're on to our final topic, and so this is Matt's speed round. And so this is just for fun. Don't overthink it. I'm going to throw out just a comment and just respond with the first one or two words that come to your mind, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Blockchain technology is...
Crazy.
Fair. Publishing books is...
Tiring.
I would imagine so. film credits are.
Valuable.
Absolutely. Okay, so now I got to capitalize a little bit of your personal life and where you live too. Raising a toddler is.
Oh my God. Unexpected.
I hear you, man. I hear you. I have a 3-year-old myself, so you're spot on with that response.
I had to try to get her to take antibiotics just before this. So it was just like, okay.
Oh, jeez. So I got this one from your bio on DCP. So this may be more of a question for your wife than you, but I'm still going to ask it. Lindor chocolates or white wine?
White wine.
White wine. All right. And finally, traditional Irish food is.
Overcooked.
That's awesome. You try to project like some of these answers, and I just like I never would have get that. That's perfect. That's perfect. Okay. Well, Patrick, thank you so much for being on the Talent Cast, and it was awesome chatting with you. And best of luck with this screenplay, and best of luck with the other project that you're working on. And I know we'll see you around on the DCP platform.
Oh, definitely, I'll be around everywhere.
Okay. Well, thanks again. Appreciate all you do for Decentralized Pictures, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Bye.